Hey, hi, howdy, and hello! Okay, so I'm a little bit behind on this challenge. I've seen a lot of folks ask me if I would ever do a 100 days in Stardew Valley video, and decided it was just about time. I had no idea what was in store for me to make this. I've been working on it tirelessly for the past month, but it was so worth it. Oh, and if you like this challenge, be sure to hit that subscribe button and get notified for when my next videos come out. And just because I like to make things a little bit more difficult on myself, I wanted to add in a bunch of goals and milestones that I would try to hit on the way while using all of my tips and tricks that I've released over the last while. So I made a point system for this challenge. The major goal of this play is to get all 7 star drops in my 100 days. There's also getting to level 100 in Skull Cavern, earning over 1 million in gold, having every basic farm animal in game, as well as getting a horse, and there are 12 monster eradication goals, which I have them marked as 15 points each. I'm also gonna max all of my skills, get the deluxe rare crow, fix Willie's boat, and complete the missing bundle too. I of course need a star drop from a spouse, so I gotta get married, but I also want to get my spouse to 14 hearts. If I can get that done, then I'm allowed to divorce them and do it again. Oh, and a bonus 50 points per kid too. Adding all of that up, I have the potential of getting about 1,300 points depending on marriage and kids and whatnot, so that won't be too hard, right? Alright friends, buckle up, we're going for a ride. Okay, so starting off, I'm obviously going to check this box for the red cabbage factor, and I'm keeping the community center in its normal state so it'll be easier for me to plan ahead. I like knowing what I'm walking into. I am adding monsters to the farm because I always find it kind of helpful having them around for extra loot and such. And I am going with the forest farm layout because it's my favorite and foraging always gives a good boost at the beginning. Plus, I can catch a wood skip here. So day 1, I start with my normal clearing of the farm, plant my parsnips, and gather all the forage that I can find. I also took the time to talk to everyone that I could but Willie on the first day to get that objective taken care of right away. I have enough trees chopped for a couple of chests and a level up in foraging my first night. Day 2, I craft and plant some spring seeds and head to the ocean to get our fishing on. I really want to get my fishing up quickly for some good early funds, and also we need to hit level 7 sometime in the spring. I also got a treasure chest that day with enough gold to smelt a bar. Day 3 was a long day of fishing. I also found a diamond in a chest too. On day 4, I fished some more and found some copper and then some iron in some treasure chests and leveled up to level 5 in fishing. Day 5, always a big day. I adopted a cat, named it Tiger because it's Year of the Tiger, also my year. I went and harvested my first parsnips, checked out the community center, and also saw a coffee bean at the traveling cart, so I went and sold enough fish that I was hoarding to buy it and plant it on the farm. After that, I got my rusty sword from Marlin. Also found a wood club and some sneakers and made it to level 5. Day 6, I met the wizard and now can speak Junimo-ish. I did my talking and gifting rounds too. I focused on these specific villagers to get their relationships up faster because it's going to be beneficial to my playthrough, and some of these I'll be able to marry earlier. Then I went and crafted my first furnace and went spelunking for the rest of the day. I was feeling pretty good, found dwarf scroll number 4, which always eludes me for quite some time. My pockets were super full, and I almost didn't see that a bug dropped an ancient seed, so I went over to grab it and clear up some space in my backpack and passed out before I could grab it. The pain. Day 7, I stayed in bed filled with dread and depression. Well, almost. I had considered it though. Instead, I pulled myself up by my bootstraps and made some donations to get my free cauliflower seeds. Then it was back to the mines where I smelted an iron bar and a gold bar and passed out with the bugs. Day 8 was the standard routine: water plants, pet the cat, talk to potential mates, and mine some more. Day 9, the spring seeds I planted were ready, so I donated some to the spring forage bundle and planted 40 more. Day 10, Maru wanted a carp, which put her in the lead for becoming my flower dance partner, went mining and found a forest sword. Day 11, sold enough fish to Willie to get my backpack upgrade and continue fishing, putting me at level 6. Day 12, checked with the merchant and saw that she was selling the dish of the sea, so my plan to catch the legend this season was to get to level 7 and get a kitchen to cook the dish, so that was an insta-buy for me. Now my kitchen upgrade can wait until later. Gave Caroline a gold star parsnip, putting us at 2 hearts, and took a trip to the tea room. Day 13, another big day for me. I learned the tea sapling recipe, harvested my first cauliflower, and headed to the egg festival, buying a few strawberry seeds. I absolutely smashed the competition with 14 eggs and got my straw hat. Dashed on over after the festival to donate my spring crops for 20 speed grow for 20 of my strawberries, then crafted 25 tea saplings and threw them in the bin to sell for just over 12,000 gold. Day 14, I had money to burn, so I splurged on some beer for Chicken Boy, some salads, and the iridium rod, and some trap bobbers. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I fished the rest of Sunday trying to level up, found 2 fire quartz in a treasure chest, so close to getting the carts unlocked. Day 15, Demetrius stopped by to set up my cave. I went with bats to hopefully get the fruits needed for the bundles, gathered a few salmon berries, and dealt with an awkward conversation with Demetrius and Maru. Usually my first building is a silo, but since I had all the money and resources for it, I went ahead and built a coop first, and then I continued fishing. I leveled up to fishing 7 overnight. Now I just need to wait for another rainy day. Day 16, normal round of watering, harvesting, planting, and chatting up the locals, and getting some salmon berries. Then it was mining to level 30. Slow progress with the mines, but I'm not in a rush just yet. Day 17, and it's a rainy day. I keep planting my coffee beans I harvest for a while, gather a few salmon berries, and catch some catfish to show to Willie for a bit of cash to buy another trap bobber. I head on to the mountain lake, pop on that dish of the sea, put me at level 10 fishing, and caught the legend. I was on a fishing roll, so I went and caught the wood skip in my farm pond and called it a day. Day 18, the coop was finished, so I pick up one of each chicken from Marnie's and gathered my last round of salmon berries. Now, as I went over in my first tips and tricks video back in 2020, normally I go all out during salmon berry season, but that early cash infusion from tea saplings gave me other energy options. Still have over 200 from making sure to level up my foraging earlier. Built a silo, gathered some copper, and made it to level 40 in the mines. Day 19, I walked in on an awkward dream sequence and then went mining the iron levels to get more coal and found a frozen tear. Day 20, because of that speed grow, my first strawberries were ready. The gold star ones are being reserved for gifts for Maru and Demetrius. It's also Shane's birthday, so I bought a beer at the saloon and enabled his drinking problem. Shane also requested a sunfish on the board, which helped boost him up to 6 out of 8 hearts, putting him in the lead. Back to the mines, got a solar essence, which was the last thing I needed for the boiler room. Passed out in the community center in hopes that the Junimos will drag me home. Day 21, the mine carts were fixed overnight. Got an apple in the bat cave, and the traveling cart actually sold a packet of ancient seeds for 300 gold, an absolute steal. So I feel much less upset about missing out on that one that I found on day 6. Spent the rest of the day farming for fiber and fighting bugs on levels 15 and 25, getting my first monster eradication gold done. Day 22, crafted and sold 25 tea saplings for another 12,000 gold, sold extra gear to the Adventurers Guild, and upgraded to the insect head. Leveled up in farming to unlock Tiller. Day 23, last round of spring seeds were ready, switched them out for parsnips, and sent my axe away for the copper upgrade. Fiber farming again, and got the Monster Slayer gold for Dougie's done. And hit level 5 in foraging too. Day 24, overnight I was visited by the crop fairy, and had the magic sprinkled in the best possible spot, right on top of my ancient seed I literally planted 2 days ago. I'll be saving these up until I get a seed maker. It was also the day of the flower dance, so I got my rare crow and some goods at Pierre's and checked my relationships. I've been playing the fields with Haley, Maru, Emily, and Shane, so I decided to ask Shane to dance with me as he was in the lead. Day 25, got my copper axe, cracked a few geodes open, and kept working on getting more coal and iron. Day 26, sent my watering can out to get upgraded to copper and made it to level 65 in the mines. Day 27, started getting things cleared up and ready for the next season and found Shane at the cliffs. Bad for him, great for me because I need that scene to get to the blue chicken scene later. Got a bone sword in the mines and made it to level 75. I also made 35 saplings to sell for over 17,000 gold. Day 28, last day of spring, got the cowpoke achievement for making 50,000 gold, found some cherries in the Batcave too, and built a barn. I crafted 2 sprinklers for my ancient fruit and coffee plants and finally hit level 80 in the mines and started farming that level for gold and fiber. It's day 29 and the first day of summer. I have big plans for my fields and had them laid out and ready for sprinklers. I got my copper watering can from Clint, sold some stuff, and spent it all on seeds. Of course, I grabbed my sunflower seeds over at Joja Mart. And those pepper poppers that Shane sent me earlier really came in handy. Also plopped some speed grow on a melon and a blueberry seed to get those ready faster. Day 30, so much watering and mining for gold for sprinklers. Day 31, the bathhouse was unlocked and I got an apricot from the bat cave. I also finished the summer foraging bundle and planted 40 summer seeds. The barn was ready, but I was broke, so cows will have to wait. Day 32, I learned the lightning rod recipe overnight just in time for my first summer storm. Happy chickens mean big eggs, so I got a big white and brown egg today. Then picked up one of each cow for Marnie, unlocked the tide pools, and went mining for gold again. Day 33, got my back at Bay Maru to 6 hearts with a quest and a gift, and went on a hunt for more coal. Day 34, asked Shane to go steady and donated the last dwarf scroll to get the translation guide and gathered enough gold to finish my sprinkler system for the top field. Day 35, went to go check on Shane and unlocked blue chickens. Got an appropriately named one and made it to level 90 in the mines. Day 36, sent my wood axe to get the steel upgrade and did some more coal and iron gathering in the mines. Day 37 was a full day of hitting level 81 over and over to gather golden fiber and getting the last sprinklers I needed for my blueberry field. Day 38, I completed the crab pot bundle and picked up my steel pickaxe. I also got my backup Maru to 8 hearts on her birthday. Caught a sturgeon, found the prehistoric scapula, and unlocked the secret woods for some fiddlehead ferns. Day 39, my sped up melon was ready, and it was the day of the luau. I brought my gold star cauliflower that I had been saving since spring, and became best friends with my boyfriend Shane. My recycler also gave me my very first cloth. Day 40, Emily stopped by to unlock tailoring. My speed grow blueberry was ready, which meant it was also time to finish the summer crops bundle. Also getting that cloth yesterday let me finish the artisan bundle for my first keg. I paid Clint to upgrade my pickaxe, then Shane took me to the gridball game too, where he drank only Joja Cola, I swear. I learned wild bait with Linus, and Maru made her move on me with some late night stargazing. Day 41, my melons were all ready to go, so I got another round of seeds going. It was a stormy day, and Shane was at 10 hearts, so I went to go buy a mermaid pendant and completely forgot that I needed my house upgraded first. Buying that dish of the sea from the traveling cart made me put it off completely, and I totally spaced it. So I gathered all my wood, went to play with Maru's gadgets, and paid Robin to upgrade my house. Overnight, got my favorite farming level up, which unlocked kegs. Day 42, the blueberries were ready and I got a large milk from my cows, one step closer to finishing that animal bundle. I upgraded my backpack for the very last time, picked up my copper pickaxe and planted more tree seeds because my wood supply was getting a little low. Day 43, I made a few kegs and decided to prioritize speed over money for a bit, so these were all set for coffee. Then it was dusty and iron farming for most of the day. Day 44, my house was upgraded overnight, finally, and the next day was going to storm, so it was perfect timing. It was a Tuesday, so I hit the mines for copper and fiber until about 7:30 to catch Robin as she walked past the register at 7:50 to craft a fish pond. Made and sold 75 tea saplings for a hefty 37,000 gold. Day 45 was a nice and stormy day, so I poofed to the ocean, grabbed a bunch of shells, and bought my mermaid pendant and some trout soup. I caught the one fish that I find the most difficult, the octopus, and then snagged the crimson fish while I was at it too. Shane was chillin' at the saloon, of course, so I popped the question, and of course he said yes. Day 46, the fish pond was done, so I threw a sturgeon in there and harvested my blueberries. I bought an apple and pomegranate sapling as I wasn't having a bunch of luck with those in the back cave. It was copper mining for the rest of the day and finally got an ancient seed artifact again. Well, again for reals this time. I had room in my pockets. Day 47, all that making friends with Demetrius really paid off. He sent me a Nautilus shell, which means that I might be able to get the community center done in the fall. Also, the traveling cart sold a red cabbage and 5 rare seeds that I picked up. The day was turning out great, so I paid for a workbench and started my first barn upgrade. Donated that ancient seed, got more kegs, finished my tree sappery, and started working on my crafting station. Day 48, I got married and finally met the dwarf in the mines to pick up my rare crow. I did a bit of iron and coal mining and upgraded my pickaxe to steel. Not having my pickaxe did not stop me from fiber farming and using bombs on ore that night though. Day 49, my sturgeon gave me their first batch of roe and my barn upgrade was done, so I picked up a goat, a pomegranate from the traveling cart, and bought some stone to get Robin to start on my coop upgrade. Then some night fishing for that super cucumber. Day 50, my first batch of tea bushes were ready. I picked up my steel pickaxe, gave the dwarf an emerald for their birthday, and made it to level 100 in the mines. I also gave my high maintenance sturgeon a diamond. They got champagne and caviar taste, let me tell ya. Well, like it, I guess that makes sense. Day 51, the coop upgrade was done, so I sold some goods to Pierre, mined for coal and iron for a bit, and hit up Robin in her after hours again for a bunch of wood and the deluxe barn upgrade. Started switching to hops in the kegs too. Day 52, my last batch of summer forageables were done and Pierre was closed, so I went to Joja Mart for enough wheat seeds to hold the soil for next season, and I upgraded my hoe. I gave Willie a gold star sturgeon I caught earlier for his birthday. Day 53 was the last melon harvest and my last barn upgrade was done, so I sold some stuff to Pierre, got the homesteader achievement for 250,000 gold, got more wheat seeds, and bought a pig, a sheep, another goat, and a duck all at once. My energy was tapped, so I grabbed my first star drop on level 100. The taste reminds me of nap time, and got to level 110 to snag my fancy new boots. Overnight, I got my first level 10 skill and went with the artisan in farming. Day 54, Shane placed a table in the middle of an empty room because why not, and gave me my marriage star drop. My first caviar was also ready, so I set that aside for later. The merchant was selling a pumpkin, which I bought to get the greenhouse done even sooner, and I got my copper hoe from Clint, as well as some geode cracking and donating done. Today was the day that I made it to the bottom of the mines and got the skull key. Day 55, I got the last gold star corn, so grabbed my goods and finished the exotic foraging bundle and the quality crops bundle. Gold and fiber farming for the rest of the night. With that, I was able to make 70 more tea saplings to sell for 35,000 gold. Day 56, I took some time to get my field set up for the next season and sold a bunch of random bits and things that I've been hoarding so that I could start off tomorrow with a ton of money. Went and did a once over on all my fish to make sure that I caught all of the summer fish, and yeah, we're good. Then it was fiber and gold farming until it was time for the dance of the moonlight jellies. After everything I sold, I added nearly 40,000 more gold to the gold pile. Day 57, the first day of fall, wasn't as much of a mad dash, being that I had planted a bunch of wheat to save me the trouble of hoeing and watering too much. I spent nearly 57,000 gold on seeds and paid 50,000 gold for a house upgrade to prepare for kids maybe. Being that I found a yam from a Dougie ages ago, I already had the other crops for the fall crop bundle, so I placed some deluxe speed grow on my eggplants and one of my rare seeds. And as usual, on the first day of fall, I passed out in the fields. Day 58, my first duck egg was ready, just one more animal bundle item left. I maxed my relationship with Shane, so I creeped on my husband with Marnie and Jazz, and got my first special order, which was just Robin's resource rush. And also I found some hazelnuts so I could get the fall forage bundle done, and planted 40 fall seeds. Day 59, my sheep was fully grown, so I snipped off a little bit of wool. Being that the greenhouse was going to be done very soon, I started throwing my ancient fruits into the seed maker. I also picked up another couple of ducks to help get the duck feather faster, did some dusty hunting and crab hunting too. Day 60, overnight the house was upgraded and my speed grow eggplants were ready. Back in town, Marnie and I confronted Shane on his video game addiction, I guess. And I completed the animal bundle, the fall crops bundle, and the pantry. I also filled out the field research bundle too, and added some rooms to the house as well as a nice paint job. I started moving my kegs and things into the extra rooms instead of getting a shed set up yet. The rest of the day was searching for more stone and rock crab. Overnight, the greenhouse got fixed up. Day 61, it was a rainy day and that husband of mine was finally good for something. Shane gave me a void egg, which is mainly why I married him in the first place. Don't tell him that. Got that in the incubator and I started setting up my greenhouse, only with quality sprinklers as I haven't had any iridium yet, and I threw in some winter roots into the seed makers for winter seeds. Of course, speed grow on all of the stuff I could too. Did a bunch of fishing and got the walleye, and got a little lucky. Shane asked me to have a baby. 14 more days until I can dump this guy. Day 62, I set out to catch the angler and a tiger trout and got both. I moved to the greenhouse, bought some stone to push Robin's resource rush along, and started the last coop upgrade and hit the mines to finish Robin's request. Day 63, my pig is fully grown, so it's only a matter of time before I get that truffle. My full-grown mahogany tree turned into a mushroom tree overnight as well. I decided to let it spread. I grabbed this snowman rare crow from the traveling cart because it's 1,000 gold cheaper than when you get it in the winter festival, and I hunted the last rock crabs for that monster slayer. Day 64, blackberry season was here, my cranberries were ready, and the last coop upgrade was finished. But it's Monday, so I'll have to wait to get a bunny. The special order was for bok choy, so I got that started. I went and finished the vault bundle too, and set up more crab pots at the ocean to help get those fish taken care of. I grabbed my crab shell ring from the Adventurers Guild too. Day 65, overnight the bus was fixed up and Evelyn gave me a garden pot. I placed a battery in the tunnel and a rainbow shell in the box up at the train station. Gave Linus his berry basket because, I'm a nice guy. It was a bat's luck kind of day, so I just searched for ore and fiber in the mines and sold a few more tea saplings for 16,000. I also caught the midnight carp right at the turn of the hour at 2 a.m. Day 66 was a max luck day, so I made a bunch of sashimi and got prepared for my first trip to the desert. I bought 3 rabbits at Marnie's as well. Traded for some bombs, bought some beet seeds and a few starfruit seeds, caught a sandfish and the scorpion carp, and headed into the cavern. I made it to level 33 and gathered only 10 iridium. Day 67, my void chicken was finally born. In the greenhouse, my winter seeds were ready to be harvested too. I crafted 2 iridium sprinklers and set them up with more winter seeds, the beets, and some more bok choy. I bought the recipe for triple shot espresso, fished out a sturgeon from my pond, and finished the fish tank bundle completely and the crafts room too, meaning that overnight the glittering boulder was removed and the bridge to the quarry was repaired. Day 68, I got my 10,000 gold reward from Mr. Key for reaching lower than level 25 in Skull Cavern and got my first duck feather, yeah. Willie told me about how there's gold in them there hills, and so I put that pan on my head. I cleared up the quarry and fought some haunted skulls to get myself a dark sword, and I got the golden scythe. Day 69, finally, my full-grown pig gave me my first truffle. Actually, looking back, it had been there since day 66, I just didn't notice it until today. And it was a good luck day today, so it was off to Skull Cavern again. I found a prehistoric floor that had a ton of pepper rexes and a dino egg just laying around. I made it to level 37 with 11 iridium and leveled up mining to 10, taking the prospector profession. I also leveled up my combat so that I can make an iridium band with my iridium bars, if I only had some. Day 70, overnight I got the monoculture achievement. Popped that dino egg into the incubator right away and bought a second pig and 2 more cows just for fun and cheese. I picked up an auto grabber from Marnie's place for my barn. All my pumpkins were ready, so I got those harvested. I got the last needed crab pot fish of the ocean, cracked open some geodes, gave Clint my pickaxe to upgrade to gold, and made some donations at the museum from those and all the bones that I got from the dinos. 1 more bone left to go, so I hunted down some haunted skulls and got really lucky and got the skeletal hand from them. Overnight, a baby sheep was born too. Day 37, Gunther stopped by to give me the rusty key. I also saw, to my dismay, that I totally forgot to plant my pumpkin seeds yesterday. That's totally okay. I checked my seed tracker and saw that I still had time in the season for one more round. I donated the skeletal hand and checked the special order board. It was prismatic jelly, which is probably the best possible one I could get for getting the monster slayer goals done. I met Krobus for the first time and went fishing for the mutant carp. Just one more legendary fish to go. I checked the board to see my slayer status and super close with the dusties and bats, so I proceeded to elevator hop for slimes, mostly on the frozen levels to multitask. I found the prismatic jelly on level 47. Being that I didn't have my pickaxe, I used bones to get to it, and I also knocked out the goal for dust sprites and bats. Day 72, Shane put a plant in the middle of an empty room, and it was the day of the fair. I had a nice little snack, crushed the competition at the Grange with a score of 111, and gambled my way to enough star tokens to get the rare crow, fedora, and star drop. Being that I now know that I'm going to have the burglar ring for the source of coal, I went to the sewers to reset my mining skill to get excavator for more double geo drops. Day 73, my beets in the greenhouse were ready, so I sent Mayor Lewis a message to beat it, and dropped off the prismatic jelly to the wizard. I grabbed my gold pickaxe, sent my wood axe to get upgraded, and got Robin started on my stable. I got that burglar ring and the vampire ring from the Adventurers Guild, and being that it was a max luck day, I took a quick trip to the desert to feed the dragon and go cave diving. I found another fully infested prehistoric floor, so I popped on the burglar ring in hopes of getting more dino eggs. I passed out with 6 iridium ore, but 2 more dino eggs. Day 74, Shane told me that I looked pregnant, so while making eye contact, I chugged some coffee to spite him for calling me fat. Oh wait, that's right, I was pregnant. I got the recipe for the monster musk, and my apple and pomegranate trees were ready. The last of the bok choy was ready to be harvested and shipped, so I switched them out with fall seeds. My mushroom tree had a little baby, so I gave it some tree fertilizer. And overnight, I also got visited by the owl. Day 75, got the mini shipping bin in the mail, and my horse was ready to ride. The sweet gemberry was finished growing, and I popped on over to Sandy's place to grab some starfruit seeds. Got my gold wood axe and gave Old Master Cannoli the sweetest taste, getting me my 3rd star drop. I found the club card in my lumberyard, and overnight I gave birth to a baby girl. Day 76, it was a bad luck day and a rainy day, so I decided to spend some time making the farm look nice and organized. I crafted some saplings and tried my best to get enough money for a divorce. Day 77, it was max luck on a Sunday, so I headed to the casino to try my hand at the slots. I popped on a spicy eel for the extra boost, got 3 cherries twice, got my rare crow, top hat, hardwood fences, and some other stuff, and called it good. Traded my jade for staircases and went back home to file for divorce. Nobody calls me pregnant when I actually am pregnant. And back to the desert to try to make some cavern progress with a burglar ring. I made it to level 57 with 19 iridium. Day 78, the house feels so much cleaner already, and I have some great luck today too. I got a bouquet, and with all this good wool I got, I decided that Emily was next on my list. Accepted fragments of the past for Gunther and went to the cavern. Got an auto patter in a chest and a rabbit's foot from a serpent. Day 79, crafted an iridium band and also grabbed all the last things to donate to the community center. And with that, the Junimos went back to the spirit world and the community center was completed. I went and took out some skeletons also to work on Gunther's quest. Day 80 was a very full day. Gus stopped by to give me a jukebox, and I built a second fish pond. Went into town and encouraged violence, and got the Stardew Hero award to show off to Grandpa. Stopped by the train yard, and somewhere behind those trees, the wizard told me about his relationship problems. Went to the sewers, bought the star drop from Krobus, caught a slime jack, and got the dark talisman. Back to the train yard, I gave some void mayo to the goblin, caught a void salmon, and gave the magic ink to the wizard. I also leveled up my foraging to 10 and chose botanist. Day 81, Willie sent me a cryptic letter about something in his back door, so I started getting all the things needed and ready. I made a monster musk and hit the 70s to take care of the skeleton monster slayer goal and got enough bones for Gunther. After that, it was fiber and gold farming, and I got a rare disc from a shadow shaman. And I also got the last animal on the list too, the baby dino hatched. Day 82 is a stormy day, so overnight lightning struck the abandoned Joja Mart. I tapped my mushroom tree and panned on the farm and got a lucky ring. Cracked a ton of geodes to donate and dropped the bones off at the museum. Lucky day, so I headed to Skull Cavern, got a crystallarium in a treasure room, and passed out at level 68. Day 83 was a good luck day, so I spent some time in the caverns gathering geodes and goodies until Spirit's Eve. I bought the witch rare crow and got the golden pumpkin. Shane, of course, refused to talk to me, but Emily hit 10 hearts, so I used a rain totem after the festival. Day 84, last day of the fall, so I did some chores and went to the museum to grab the rare crow that I forgot to pick up earlier. Then I headed to the ocean to grab the mermaid pendant and made it a point to propose to Emily while Shane was nearby. Still nothing. Started working on clearing up my farm layout too. Day 85, the first day of winter, and I unlocked the deluxe rare crow recipe. I had been stocking up on winter seeds, so I got all of those that I could planted. I saw the shadow guy and got the magnifying glass. Spent all of my money I could to get my house upgraded one more time too. The special order board had a quest for Emily, which was super convenient for me. Day 86, I grabbed my hardwood, iridium bars, and batteries and headed to the ocean where I caught Willy with all his crabs, and I repaired the boat. Robin is working on my house right now, so I'll have to wait an extra day for this. So I decided to do a bit of winter fishing, found an ancient sword in the forest, popped on a dish of the sea, and caught that glacier fish. And legendary fishing is done. Day 87, lucky for me, I was already in my formal wear, and I got married to Emily. Even the dwarf was there. Since Emily moved in, I went ahead and finished her quest, and I took a moment to grab a bunch of crab cakes at the saloon. With only a few things left to donate, I decided it would be easier to get the minerals from their specific geodes and save all of my omnis for trading to artifact troves. Down in Skull Cavern, I got the secret note to meet Mr. Key on level 100 and found another heavily invested prehistoric level. I hit level 10 in combat and went with Brute. Day 88, overnight, Robin and Willy fixed the boat, and my house was upgraded with a cellar. The seller wouldn't be able to give me a silver star wine in my 100-day time frame for the missing bundle, so I needed to look at alternatives. Unlucky day, so I used a monster musk to try to knock out the shadow spirit's goal and got that done, and also gathered some magma and frozen geodes. Day 89 was a max luck day, so I gave the kid a hug and grabbed everything I needed for a deep dive in Skull Cavern. I found a prehistoric level and another auto petter in a treasure room. Finally got my first prismatic shard on level 81. I bombed my way down to level 100 around 11 PM and made Mr. Key happy with me doing it the honorable way. I wound up getting another prehistoric level and knocked out the Pepper Rex Monster Slayer reward. And right after that, got a treasure room with an auto grabber. It was an all-around amazing day. Day 90, I traded for a few more troves and traded my prismatic shard in for the galaxy sword, and then I headed on back to Clint's to crack open some geodes and troves. I got all of the minerals I needed and was just missing 4 artifacts. I traded a rabbit's foot for a lucky charm and grabbed a bunch of stuff and headed to the island for the first time. I followed my walnut speed run to get to the West Island, and the island hut unlocked that night. Day 91, I woke up on the island and explored the volcano. I found a hot Java ring on the 9th level and made it to the summit. I combined some rings and added attack boost to my sword, but didn't have enough shards to enchant it. I unlocked the dig site and let Professor Snail out of the cave. Day 92, I woke up on the island again, and it was a rainy day. Even though it was a festival back in Pelican Town, I wanted to get as much out of the island as possible with this rain, so I found a gem bird and completed the gem bird puzzle. I caught a blue discus, a lionfish, and got enough walnuts to unlock the resort and catch a stingray. With that, I headed back home. Day 93, overnight I sold enough to hit millionaire status. I planted a bunch of winter seeds and checked on my Monster Slayer goals. halfway there with the mummies and slimes, and getting really close with the serpents. Magma sprites might not happen. So I move to the desert with a couple of monster musks, trade for some more troves, and get to work by popping in and out of the cavern to reset the first few floors until there's a ladder or shaft. Day 94, I harvested my ancient fruit and got enough gold star ones for the missing bundle. I cracked open some more troves and got the rusty cog and the golden mask. All that's left for the museum are the strange dolls, which I have the note for one of them in town. I went back to Skull Cavern with some monster musk in search of the last note and getting some monsters slayed. Got the note I was looking for, another prismatic shard to donate to the museum, and the mummy slayer gold done. I dug up the last strange doll and went to bed. Day 95, I donated the strange doll and the prismatic shard to complete the museum for the museum star drop. I also brought everything over from the missing bundle and got that done too. There's not much left to accomplish, so I caught the last basic winter fish, the lingcod, and went into the mines to catch the ghost fish, stonefish, ice pip, and finally the lava eel. I also grabbed that sweet hat from slaying all of those mummies. Overnight, the theater was also built. That night, I hit my last level 10 level up in fishing, getting me to level 10 in all 5. Day 96, I tailored a void essence to make a shirt to go with my hat, did a little monster musk slaying in Skull Cavern, and got the last serpent needed just after midnight. Day 97, my wife Emily isn't quite at 14 hearts yet and I want those points, so I decided to take my wife to the movies. Lucky for me, it was one of her favorites and she loved the kale smoothie too. I got my napalm ring and headed back to the island to see if Monster Musk would work well in the volcano. I got to the summit just in time to throw another ruby on my sword and passed out up on top. Day 98, woke up on the island and honestly just went straight home. Emily is now at 14 hearts, so I hit that goal. She gave me a fetch quest for 200 fiber, which I of course obliged. I headed to the mines to work on that slime goal and found an infested level on level 51, so I monster musked myself and farmed it over and over until I finally got that goal. After checking the board, it kinda sunk in that I likely won't get the magma sprite goal done, with over 100 more to go, so I decided to spend my time more like beautifying the farm instead. Day 99, I had time to kill until the night market, so I went to the volcano anyways. Found a prismatic shard and got the bug killer, woo. Then I poofed to the ocean, threw some stuff in a chest out of the way and went fishing in the submarine. I was able to catch 2 more octopus and all 3 night market fish just after midnight, giving me the Master Angler achievement. Day 100, checked the mail and saw that Willie sent us his heirloom star drop, giving me the last of 7 and completing all on day 100. There wasn't really anything else I was planning on accomplishing in this time frame, so I just started working on getting this place looking nice and organized for next year. I checked my total earnings the next day. I was at 1.2 million, which is honestly lower than I expected, but then again, I was very focused on other tasks over making money. I have only 7 more achievements to go. Got all but 1 monster eradication goal taken care of, got married, had a kid with Shane, maxed my relationship with him and then divorced him and got remarried and maxed my relationship with Emily. Looking at the scoreboard, I hit every single goal I put out for myself except for slaying 150 magma sprites. Still have 97 more to go there. So that put me at 1,360 out of almost 1,400 points. Not bad. And of course, I took a screenshot of every single day to show the evolution of the farm too. What's next for the Hundo Fundo farm? Well, I set some pretty high goals for myself to begin with, so I suppose the next thing to do is maybe marry and divorce everyone, or turn some kids into doves, and maybe reach 10 million gold? I don't know, we'll see. But I personally do think that the farm is looking pretty good, although I can see a lot of room for improvement. Well friends, I hope you enjoyed my 100 days in Stardew Valley. Let me know if you want me to push it further and do a 200 days video too, and continue on with this farm here. Oh, and if you have any crazy goals that you can think of for a 200 days, let me know too. That would be really helpful for me because I'm kind of stumped on it. Okay, well friends, I am Wicky. Thank you so much for hanging out in the valley with me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!